Zweig Group invites all AEC industry leaders to the 2024 AEC Small Business and Entrepreneurship Forum, the premier event for small firms in the AEC sector. Experience innovative strategies and insights on May 21st, crafted by Zweig Group's industry experts. Engage in keynotes and interactive sessions focused on recruitment, retention, and business growth. Join Zweig Group for this unique networking opportunity and take your business to new heights. Secure your spot today and be part of the AEC industry's future. Visit zweiggroup.com for more information. The Zweig Group team looks forward to welcoming you.
You're listening to a special edition Zweig Letter Podcast, putting architectural, engineering, planning, and environmental consulting guru Mark Zweig and his team of experts straight talk in your ear. Mark has more than 30 years of experience helping AEP and environmental firms thrive, and these podcasts deliver his invaluable management, industry, client, and HR advice directly to you, free of charge. The Zweig Letter and the Zweig Letter Podcasts let you develop professionally wherever you are.
Hey everyone, and thank you for joining Zweig Group Media and the Zweig Letter exclusive interview series. With over 25 years of continuous coverage of the design industry, the Zweig Letter is a consistent source of valuable information in an ever-changing marketplace. We are bringing you some of the best and brightest minds that our industry has to offer. Today, I am pleased to welcome Kyle Ahern, who is the awards manager here at Zweig Group, to join us today to talk a little bit about what else? Awards. Kyle, how you doing?
I'm doing good. Good to be here. Thanks, Randy. How are you?
I'm doing good. It's so good to have you join us on the Zweig Letter interview series. And why don't you tell the audience just in a nutshell what you do here at Zweig Group?
Well, basically what my title says, I manage the awards basically from start to finish. So the whole process for 2017 started back in probably late October, early November of 2016. Started to get the surveys ready for best firms to work for, as well as hot firm, so we could have those ready to roll out. And then we opened them up in December of 2016. And which is the earliest we ever had them open, and then basically from there, I was in charge or did some marketing for the awards, marketing emails, made phone calls, and then answered any questions that any of the participants had. Basically, from anything from registering for the awards to anything in the process of getting signed up, getting their surveys, getting the surveys out to their employees, and any questions they had about the surveys. I was there to answer all those questions.
Okay. Now, off the top of your head, and this is not a quiz, but can you rattle off the list of different awards that we have?
Yes, we have the Best Firms to Work For Award, we have the Hot Firm Award, we have the Marketing Excellence Award, and we have the Jerry Allen Courage and Leadership Award.
Okay, all right. So, let's talk a little bit about some of these different awards and ultimately what they can mean for firms. We'll do the last one you just mentioned at last, but let's talk specifically about hot firm.
Okay.
We know, and I've always said to people that when you think of hot firm, you think of like the Inc. 500, 5,000 list for privately held firms that Inc. magazine runs a competition every year to see who are the best and top firms in that way, and I always liken hot firm to that in the sense that we're trying to glean as much information from these firms to get real data that allows us to determine how successful a firm has been for a period of time. What in your mind stands out the most about the Hot Firm Award for firms?
Well, off the top of my head, I'd say you don't have to be a huge firm to win.
Right.
It's not about the firm size, it's about the firm growth.
Okay.
So I think in that way, it stands out and can be very helpful for firms of any size. They can, if they've had great growth over a 3-year period, then they can be a winner. It doesn't matter if they have 10 employees or 10,000 employees.
Right. Okay. So, and it is over a 3-year period, right?
Yes.
Okay. Yeah. Which is very similar to the Inc. 500, 5,000. So yeah. So there are a lot of similarities there. Okay. So as far as hot firm goes, obviously the next award that I can think of that would make sense, once you look at this and say, okay, well, we're a hot firm and, we're doing great financially and otherwise, what else stands out about a firm or makes a firm different, I think, are its people, right? And that's why Best Firm to Work For is such an important award. Can you talk a little bit about that Best Firm to Work For award?
Yeah, it really speaks to the firm overall because everyone in the firm is welcome to participate. Doesn't matter what position they hold. We encourage everyone at the firm to take this employee survey that's part of the Best Firms to Work For competition, and then you get feedback from everyone within the firm, top to bottom, and you can really get insight into what your employees are thinking, what they think about different policies, different benefits, everything at the firm. You get great insight, and it's a great tool for recruiting. It's a great tool for marketing. Just if you win, then you can show that not only are you a good firm to work with, you're a great firm or a best firm to work for. So. Yeah. No, that makes perfect sense, and you're right. I mean, nowadays, the things that I do here at Zweig when it comes to recruiting, it is you need everything that you can have, every advantage to leverage your firm above somebody else out there. And I can't think of a better way to do that than an award, and especially the Best Firm to Work For, where, it's not an external recognition, it's an internal recognition, right? Right. I think it's, the idea is that obviously sometimes firms learn things about themselves that they didn't know. Those surveys are very important, and they're anonymous as well, right? So it certainly does protect the innocent. We don't want to get anybody fired, no. but I would imagine, have you, and I know that you've had a chance to look at a lot of these awards. Could you maybe think of maybe one or two really interesting pieces of feedback that you've seen from some of these award samples? Well, specifically, it's just interesting to see, what people might say. I've been here for this long, and it's been great. I've recommended, I've brought on a couple of friends to come in and work here, and it's interesting to see comments like that. And then you'll get, the criticism comments as well. And I think both are equally as important to these firms because the criticisms can help them become better overall, and then the encouraging comments can help them just continue, everything that they're doing that all their employees like. Yeah.
It's sometimes it's like it's the ultimate reveal, right? Everybody wants to know if everybody else likes them, but if somebody says I like you, but and then they tell you what that but is, then at least okay, well maybe I've got something to work on. And I think we can all agree that every firm out there has its positives and minuses, right? I think the reality is that we're all a work in progress as individuals, but as well as organizations. And I think that, the important thing is that some of us are willing to get out of the boat and, try something new in the sense of maybe participating in an award like this so that they can figure out where are the areas of improvement? What do we need to do better? But I also am acutely aware that there are a lot of firms that recognize that, they're running a major, fundamentally flawed organization, and they'll never participate in a firm like this Best Firm to Work For. And I think that's interesting too, right? Because, I just think that's, it's just something that people need to be aware of. But it can't hurt to put yourself out there and see, really kind of see what the standard is for your organization and why, people would want to work at your firm. And, certainly from a recruitment tool, whether it's for retention related purposes or for attracting new talent, getting a best firm to work for award is huge.
Right.
I mean, when you think of it's like the social proof that we talk about every day. I mean, do you use Yelp at all? Or
sometimes.
Sometimes. Have you ever used there are some apps that I use for my house, and one of them is Angie's List. And Angie's List does a really good social proof of different firms in your area that do certain types of work across the board. And so I've gone to Angie's List to get somebody that would build a fence in my backyard or to replace gutters. And, people want to work with people that are successful and that are doing things the right way. And I think anytime you have a program set up like that where you can recognize and acknowledge that type of work, then I think it's huge. I think it's huge for us to work with. And so best firm to work for is, in my mind, something that, everybody should strive for, especially in the design space. I think any company in general should strive to have that type of recognition, for their organization. And even if they aren't quite there yet, it's something that they can work towards, because I think it's it is certainly a great, award to have for sure.
Right. And part of best firms to work for is, and what makes it great is you get the results from this employee survey, but then you get a benchmarking report. And so you can kind of see how firms similar to yours have performed as well, and how, you can compare your firm to the benchmark of the category you enter. So it is a nice way to get a feel of how your firm is performing against the industry as well as just kind of an internal review.
Yeah, I mean, those benchmarks are huge. I mean, because you can see where you grow. It's so funny. Before we got on this podcast, I actually had somebody call into the office. They were inquiring. I had left them a message last week to congratulate them for being a Hot Firm Award winner. And then they asked, well, what was our number back in 2015 or whatever? So I had to go look it up, and then I called them back and gave them that information. But, they were excited to see that they had jumped almost 50 points, in the numbers from where they were originally in 2015 to where they are now in 2017. Mm-hmm. And that's only been 2 years. And I think that's huge, right? Because that kind of tells you, okay, well, maybe we're doing something right. The numbers look better for us. We're growing. People like working here. I mean, there are a number of factors that play into that. But if you certainly don't set a standard for yourself at an organization, it's going to be hard to determine what success really is.
Right.
And I think Hot Firm kind of helps to set that standard and say, hey, you're doing good, and there's more room for growth. Talking a little bit about the Hot Firm event itself. One of the things that I've recognized that I think it brings out in those that participate in the event are the fact that you have a lot of high profile hustle people that really know how to hustle, how to go out there and really make it happen for their organizations, whether big or small. And like you said, you don't have to be a big firm to make it on Hot Firm. But can you talk a little bit about just that whole idea that, you get to be around these really successful individuals and what it's like? I mean, you were there last year. You got to meet with a lot of these different owners. What was your takeaway from it?
Yeah, so last year was my first year, and it was awesome for me because I got to finally put, faces with all these names that I had, either emailed back and forth with or called on the phone. But it's just great because success breeds success. And so if you're there and you're around all these successful firms who are winning these awards and growing at these, growing at 100% rate for 3 years, it's just incredible. And it's great to just be around those people who get it, who understand, and who, are always striving to be better. Even if they're growing at 100%, next year they want to grow at 120%.
Right.
So it's just a fun event to be at in that state. It's a celebration, but it's also just, it's educational, a celebration. There's, great networking, so you can talk with these successful CEOs, and it's just a great event.
Yeah, it is. You're right. I love that success does breed success. And, it is really something that that you see when you walk into the room and you see these people that are, it's not like people are putting on airs or, they're acting better than anybody, but they just get out and hustle every day and just make it happen. And the fruits, they're celebrating the fruits of all that hustle and hard work. Yes. So that's very cool. So tell me a little bit about the next award that we have. So we've talked a little bit about the Hot Firm Award. We've talked about the Best Firm to Work For. And then we also have the Marketing and Excellence Award.
Yes.
You want to talk about that?
Well, the Marketing Excellence Award is our fastest growing award.
Okay.
We've been doing it for just a few years now. And in 2016, I think we had about 45 firms participate. And this year we have over 70 entries for Marketing Excellence Award. So this year we added 5 new categories.
Okay.
And that's been really exciting. I've just taken a little glance. We haven't quite done the judging for it yet, but just taken a little glance at the entries that have come in, and they're very impressive so far. I think everybody kind of stepped their game up this year, and excited about these new categories, excited that we're getting so much participation, and we just want to keep it growing because marketing drives business. And so you see the marketing pieces that these firms are putting together, and you can understand, most of these marketing excellence entries are firms who win Hot Firm or Best Firms to Work For, and so then you can kind of understand how well-rounded these firms are, and especially by looking at their marketing.
Yeah. No, I mean, that's, and I like that aspect of it because it does allow us to look at the whole company, right? And look at every area of the company, not just what their numbers look like, but also what are they doing to get those numbers?
Right.
How are those numbers being generated? And, I think, the Marketing Excellence Award, does just that, when it looks at, there's some really, I remember last year looking at some of the competitors and, the top winners, and I was really impressed by what those guys kind of put out there. I mean, there was some really kind of like forward-thinking programs that they had set up.
Yes.
Anything that stood out in your mind? Do you remember from last year?
Well, last year we had one entry. I think it went on to win the People's Choice at Hot Firm. And they had set up their intranet at their firm, and it was based off the Avengers, the superheroes, okay. And it was just, it was their internal marketing, and it was just so cool to see that kind of creativity and something you might not even think about, but
right.
But just stuff like that is really cool to see.
Okay, all right. Well, yeah. Well, hey. Who knows what we're going to see this year? Maybe it's the Justice League represented by somebody's intranet. It could be something totally different. The Last Jedi. Who knows? We'll see some. I'm sure we'll see something creative. Now the voting on that is not yet complete, right?
No. We're going to be finishing up the judging early next week, and should have those results out. And but really looking forward to diving in and getting more specifics and, kind of studying how the different campaigns worked out for all these entries.
Okay.
Because just looking at them just briefly, I can tell it's going to be great.
Yeah.
It's going to be great.
That's cool. That's awesome. So it's the entry deadline is passed, right?
Yes.
Yeah. Okay.
Yes.
That's what I thought. All right. And when will that announcement be for?
That should be
excellence?
around June 5th or 6th.
Okay, so coming up soon.
Yes.
Okay. All right. Cool. Very cool. Well, that's awesome. Well, it sounds like there's so many different things happening, and I guess the last award to mention is the Jerry Allen Courage and Leadership Award.
Yes.
So tell me a little bit about that award and what your thoughts are about that one.
Well, that's what we consider the most prestigious award we give out within the industry, and it can go to anyone within any firm, any role, and basically we just honor people who have had to battle through adversity but are still providing courageous leadership in their everyday work, coming in and doing their job, through, whatever it might be, an illness or some kind of other trouble going on, but they come in and they're, still being leaders in their firm, still helping out every single day. And So it really is a high honor for anyone to receive, and we do still have the entry open for that one.
Okay.
Now. So.
Yeah. So anybody that could nominate somebody for that.
Right.
Yeah. Okay. Yeah. I know, and I know that it's been given posthumously to some people.
Yeah. Yes.
In the past couple of years, so I can remember that specifically. But you didn't know him, but I actually knew Jerry Allen, and he was actually a great guy. And so I am dating myself some, but he died rather young, and but you look at all that he did in his lifetime, and he was just an amazing guy, a mentor to Mark Zweig, and a real friend of the firm, and somebody that was just an amazing individual that took a small, sleepy civil engineering firm in Fort Worth, Texas, and grew them into a behemoth. Now it's a part of Jacobs, but I mean, it's still, it doesn't change what he was able to accomplish.
Right.
So I think that's awesome, and I'm glad we're able to do that each year. And so I can't wait to see who wins that award this year.
Right. So
it should be pretty good. So any other surprises up your sleeve for this Hot Firm event with regard to awards? I mean, again, awards are one of those things that we don't often talk about until the time comes, and so I know we have the Trifecta Award.
Right.
What is that?
Trifecta Award is for any firm that wins a Hot Firm, Best Firm, and Marketing Excellence Award. But this year, we did make a slight adjustment for the firm who wins or has someone win the Jerry Allen Courage and Leadership Award. If they also win two of the other three, that'll be a Trifecta Award as well. Okay. But yeah, last year I think we had 8 firms win Trifecta, so we'll see if there are any more this year.
Yeah, I'll be interested to see if any of those firms win it again. Based on, so obviously they're doing something right to win in all 3 categories. So who knows?
Yes.
So that should be interesting. We may have to make up a quad award if somebody wins all 3 plus the Jerry Allen Courage and Leadership Award. So. But no, that's exciting. So tell me, what are you looking forward to most about going out to Seattle in September for this event?
Well, this year, I think most excited that we have this new track that we've been, developing this year, as far as the educational part of the whole conference. We have the new up-and-comers track, or the young professionals track. Okay. And we have we partnered with a speaker by the name of Anthony Fasano, and he has a podcast, the Engineering Career Coach. Yep. And so he's going to be out there presenting a number of times in the young professionals track. And we actually have a great rate for young professionals if a CEO's coming out and they think they've got a bright young person in their firm who they want to bring out to this event, and it would normally cost them this much. We have this young professional track that's it's great
a significant
price.
Savings. Huge savings compared.
So it's just an opportunity to get some fresh faces out there and
the next generation, if you will,
and expose them to the success that all of these firms have, and let them kind of see what this event is all about. And so I think putting that together is really exciting, especially for a young person like me, is seeing our firm reach out to that next generation,
right?
And start to get the Zweig name out to them as well.
Absolutely. Well, folks, and I'm going to go out on a limb. If you are listening to this podcast anytime between the published date as on up to and including the week before the Hot Firm event if you reach out to me, Randy or R. Wilburn at ZweigGroup.com, we'll be sure, if you decide you want to bring some of your young people to the event, we'll be sure that we give you a special rate to have them participate. All you have to do is say you heard it here first on the podcast, and we'll take good care of that next generation of talent that's at your firm, and they can come and hear from Anthony and Kyle and so many others that are going to be participating in the Hot Firm event in Seattle. It should be a blast.
It's going to be
awesome.
awesome.
Are you a big seafood person?
I'm coming around to it.
You're coming around to it. Yeah, that's right. Yeah.
Growing up in Kansas, we didn't have the freshest seafood.
Right. Well, I'm going to tell you what, the best salmon that you could ever have is going to be there. So it should be a lot of fun. And of course, coffee. The event is going to be held the 21st and 22nd of September.
Yes. At
the Fairmont Olympic Hotel, yes, which is just across the street from Pike's Place Market, which is where they throw the salmon fish. It's right down the street from the original Starbucks first coffee house. So it should be a lot of fun. Yes. Whether you like coffee, if you like fish, seafood, whatever, you name it, or just having a good time. And we can't guarantee that it's going to be sunny each day, but I have a feeling that it will be.
Yeah.
Because every time that I've been to Seattle recently, it's been sunny. And I'm like, okay, well, maybe I bring some good mojo to Seattle. So we'll see how it goes. Well, listen, we want to go deeper for our audience, Kyle. And these are our last couple of questions. And I didn't tell you I was going to ask you this. So we just have a couple of simple questions that we'll end our interview with. And hopefully we'll have some fun in the process.
Okay.
What was the last book that you read?
I read a book. It's called From the Guys Who Were There. It was about the 2015 Kansas City Royals World Championship team.
Okay, right.
So got that up when I was up in Kansas City just a couple months ago, and then read it. So
okay,
it's kind of cool to see, just that firsthand experience of guys who were there. So
right. Well, you've been a kind of a lifelong KC Royals fan. Yeah, that's cool. Very cool. Okay, well we'll let that go. Then where did you go on your last vacation?
My last vacation, I went to Destin, Florida last summer.
Okay.
For a week, which was awesome.
All right. And you're about to have a vacation coming up too, because you're about to get married.
I am. We are about to head down to Cancun for a week.
That's awesome. Well, I hope you have a wonderful time. If you could binge watch one TV series, old or new, what would it be?
I would say, because I've done it fairly recently, Breaking Bad.
Okay. All right. Bad. And then is it what, Better Call Saul? Is that a follow-up to that, or? That's
kind of a prequel series. I haven't gotten into it, but I have heard great things about it.
Okay. Okay. Well, I'll have to check it out. I will definitely have to check it out. Kyle, thanks so much for taking time out of your schedule to be with us on the Zweig Letter interview series. We really, really appreciate it. As a reminder, all Zweig Group media programs like this one are available in both podcast and video format, free for download on iTunes, Stitcher, SoundCloud, and YouTube, just to name a few places. We'd like to thank you for watching this in video or listening to the podcast by offering you a free copy of the Zweig Letter. Just visit freetzl.zweiggroup.com. We will also give you a free year subscription to Civil Plus Structural Engineer magazine. So that's it, folks. A free copy of the Zweig Letter and a free year-long subscription to Civil Plus Structural Engineer magazine. Just visit freetzl.zweiggroup.com. A link to all of this information will be in our show notes. And we'd love it if you'd share this link with a friend. I'm Randy Wilburn, and you've been listening to Zweig Group Media, part of Zweig Group. Remember, we exist to make you more successful. Bye for now.
Thanks for tuning in to this special edition Zweig Letter Podcast. We hope that you can apply Mark's no-holds-barred advice to your daily professional life. For a free 6-week subscription of the Zweig Letter, please visit freetzl.zweiggroup.com to gain more wisdom and inspiration, in addition to information about leadership, finance, HR, and marketing your firm. Subscribe today.